All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we just went through our three-step breading, okay? And then the follow-up slide was how we were going to go ahead and make our batter here, which we have all nice and set and complete. We're going to start with our shrimp just like we did with our breaded. We're going to go ahead and make sure these are fully covered with flour. And we're going to go ahead and drop our shrimp right in that batter. And actually, because we're going seafood on seafood, we'll be able to do it all at the same time. Make sure that we have this fish nicely covered with flour. You want to make sure that batter sticks. Saw that in a slide earlier, how important that is. Make sure we shake off that excess just like before. What we'll do is we'll carry this batter over. And as we get a little bit closer here, we're going to go ahead and drop that fish first. Now remember, when you go ahead and pick that up, you want to make sure that you're letting a lot of that batter, the excess batter, go ahead and drip off. And the same technique applies. You're going to wave it back and forth a couple times to make sure that heavier end, the top end, is starting to cook a little bit more, so when you drop it in, it won't sink to the bottom and stick on the fryer grates on the bottom. Then we'll go ahead and put our shrimp in there. We're letting our excess come off. Remember, about 6 inches. You can go ahead and drop that in there. You got to be careful with the batter. It's a little bit heavier than it is with the breaded. We have our third piece going on in there. So what you could do is you want to make sure, as you see this bubbling down in here, you want to just give it a little scrape, make sure that shrimp isn't sticking to the bottom. You want to move around that fish a little bit, make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. Like I said, that batter is considerably heavier than just that breaded, three-step breaded piece of fish. So we want to make sure we have nothing sticking to the bottom because it'll easily burn that way. And we see our shrimp changing in color here. These shrimp do not take long to cook with, breaded or batter. Go ahead and flip that over. We have about another probably 3 or 4 minutes on the fish, okay? So fish is going to take a little bit longer. The same rules are still going to apply as far as its density and weight. If it feels very heavy, you know that it's still not done cooking and a lot of that water is still inside the fish and you want to make sure you're cooking some of that out. Obviously, it's important that we don't cook it too long because nobody wants an overcooked, dried out piece of fish. That's not really what they're looking for if they come to eat at your establishment or what you're making at home. There you go. See how that batter is nice and thick and coated in there? It's got a nice crunch on the outside. That batter is a lot thicker than the breaded. And then I'll just pull this out to show you an example of what that would look like. Same with the fish. See how you have that nice thick coating on the outside? And that would be your battered fish and shrimp.